Welcome to the Weekend Investing Daily Bytes. This is May 14th, Friday. It was a reasonably a lackluster day in terms of the markets going down early in the morning. But the NIFTY index, more or less recovered during the day, although the breadth of the market stayed quite red. Small caps and Nifty Next 50 were the worst hit today. For the month, the indices are still looking all right. In terms of the sectors, the worst hit were essentially the sectors where we had seen a lot of gains earlier in the week. So metals, PSEs and PSU banks, these three sectors, if you recall from earlier daily bites, were the ones which were racing up earlier in the week. They are still positive in the week. And the money was basically taking refuge in defensive sectors like FMCG and consumption. So it was sort of a rolling of money from high risk towards safety in the market. On a weekly and monthly basis, the broader market still looks quite good. In terms of weekend investing performances, two portfolios were hit quite hard, MIST ATH and MINNF10. Again, these were the ones which were running very hard. MIMT All Cap surprisingly did very well today relative to the market. And here again, we are reasonably sitting pretty in terms of financial performance right now. So topic of the day is about drawdowns. I had tweeted this subject today as to why and how you should look at the drawdowns and how some discretionary or non-discretionary methods will still do better than many of our products. But I mean, are you looking at the correct ratios and the performance metrics to compare? So Mr. Pramesh made a submission about being confused, and we also receive a lot of queries about drawdown. So we thought we will do a small bite on drawdown. So what is a drawdown? This is an example of one of our portfolios, how it has performed over 2 years. I think this is our all cap portfolio. So we started at 1 lakh rupees at 0.0, and at the end of 1 year, let's say you were at 2 lakhs, right? And in year 2, from 2 lakhs, you went down to 1.5 lakhs. So this is basically a drawdown. A drawdown is basically the amount of drop from the highest point you have achieved so far. So the highest point achieved so far was 2 lakhs. Now you are down to 1.5 lakhs. You're down by 25%, right? Now, in the future, that entire drawdown may get covered up and go further up. So in year 3, we went from 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs. At this point, the max drawdown so far was still 25% here. But there was no net drawdown or net loss in the portfolio. So you should not look at a drawdown as if if the max drawdown is 25%, so we are down from somewhere. That need not be. That max drawdown may have come earlier and you may have crossed it by now. In year 3 to 4, we had another drawdown. That was again the same absolute amount of 50,000 rupees. But because we had reached 2.5 lakhs, the drawdown is now 20% only. So the max drawdown remains at 25%. However, your portfolio is going up. So drawdown needs to be seen in context of where you are in the picture. There is another metric that you can use to compare strategies, which is called the ROMAD ratio. So you must have heard about Sharpe ratio and Sortino ratio. So this is a ratio which is based on the returns and the maximum drawdowns. So the returns divided by maximum drawdowns is what is called the ROMAD ratio. So if let's say the returns we are taking as average CAGR, for instance. So CAGR is 20%, drawdown is 10%, ROMAD ratio is 2. CAGR is 10%, maximum drawdown is 20%, ROMAD ratio is 0.5. So you can easily compare different strategies in terms of the ROMAD ratios, and then basically it will give you a very clear picture about how they are stacked up against each other. So it's sort of a relative evaluation, quick relative evaluation method. So let's quickly go through this exercise. So for all our products, these are the CAGRs listed here. This is since we started in April 16. These are the maximum drawdowns that we have seen, and these are the ROMAD ratios for each of these products. So you can see that for products which are large cap or slower products in nature, the ROMAD ratio is low, 0.6, 0.8, 0.67, because your drawdowns are still higher, but the returns are not as much. Whereas in strategies like MI80H, MI All Cap, MI50, MI30, the ROMAD ratio is all above 1. In fact, this is almost tending towards 2, which is phenomenally good. So your returns are 1.5, 1.8 times your maximum drawdown. That is a phenomenal sort of result. Now let's compare it to index or indices that we have. NIFTY CAGR of 13% odd, max drawdown 38%, ROMAD ratio 0.35. So all the indices are nearly 0.3%, and small cap is even much lower because the drawdowns are so high in small cap index. So going to as low as 0.19. So, but the point to note is that even with a 0.3 ROMAD ratio, you are still getting a 13.3 CAGR. It's not like that, ROMAD ratio is low, so it's a useless strategy or a useless fund to follow or an index to follow. It is just that it is relatively much better off. So in our strategies, you can see that the ROMAD ratios are much higher than all the indices put together. So any indices and the weakest product that we have in terms of returns also is beating that by a huge margin. So this is what the ROMAD ratio can very quickly tell you. So this was all for the daily Byte today. Do keep sending us your suggestions. It helps us also to learn new things and to broadcast the same to you. We get a lot of appreciation from a lot of users, and we want to just thank you for all the appreciation that you send to us. If you look at the contents of the description below, you will find all the links to our small cases and to the Telegram channel if you would like to join that. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.